HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. The town of Hopkinton hosted a special town meeting this past Monday. Town clerk Connor Deegan filled in as moderator. The big topic was to approve a new Elmwood school.
Small groups of children who are being supported in reading or mathematics. Some kids were getting specially designed instruction. Students could come out of multiple classrooms and work collaboratively on a project. There could be extension activities in those places. It really does allow for the elasticity that we need in making sure that our kids are getting what they need, not just for today, but to make them appropriate learners and workers in a 21st century environment.
So all told, on the right-hand side, you'll see that we were able to cut over $15.5 million from that initial budget. The last line shows the potential maximum reimbursement from the MSBA. That has gone from just under $45 million back in March to now more than $61 million. That's an additional $16.6 million we've received, and that's going to go a long way to lessening the burden for taxpayers should this be approved.
One, I think, really big piece that I want to call out again is that if this project does not pass, the sixth grade will remain in this building, which will create capacity issues in both the middle school and then the ability to use both the middle school to help alleviate some of the high school things, so that at the school committee, we were able to remove some of our capital warrant items, things that had been part of our 5-year plan, because with a 2-3-4 school, it allows increased capacity at multiple buildings, but it also allowed for things like traffic patterns and relocating of the tennis courts to not be needed in the 5-year capital plan either.
The article passed the 2/3 majority, 622 to 241. The article will now go to special town election. Article 2 would eliminate political caucuses from town election ballots and get rid of caucus nominations.
What you see here in that, especially in 2016, is a fairly even distribution of candidates on the ballot. But if you move to 2017, you'll find that the distribution is skewed somewhat. It was not coincidental that that was the year after Donald Trump was elected. Now there was a pretty large increase in the number of caucus only, and you can see that trend also as it goes on from 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Executive Office of Bergamo had to swear an oath, which I will thankfully edit to a key and most pertinent passage for tonight. All of the officers and honors of the city of Bergamo should be chosen in the interest of the community and not by reason of any party or parties. That was 800 years ago.
I do not believe that someone is more qualified for a Hopkinton office merely because they caucus with a political party, as the current voting system for ballot signatures indicates. I also do not think that someone should need to identify their stance on abortion to be able to serve on the Conservation Commission, or their position on the defense budget to be able to serve on school committee. Partisanship already defines our politics online, in our houses, and amongst our neighbors. We all have relationships with other people that have been in some way damaged or threatened by partisan politics, especially with the rise of social media. Eliminating partisan advantages will not get rid of political parties. They will always be a part of our political system, locally and nationally. Rather, it will send a message that, first and foremost, we are Hopkintonians, and that we can resist the hatred, fear, and division that threatens to further divide our community.
Showed that it's a good thing to have caucuses in town because it increases participation in the democratic process. What happened after 2016, was a good thing for local government. It got people involved. It got people to focus on local issues. So I'm standing up here to say that I would vote against this motion. I wholeheartedly support what Mr. Weissmantel said in the form that Ms. Groves handed out on the way in.
After much deliberation, the article passed the required majority by 31 votes, 245 to 214.
And the motion passes 245 to 214. Simple majority.
Article 3 looked to add regulations to the energy code for new buildings.
To give you context on our road to net zero, in a typical Massachusetts home, 80% of energy use comes from the heating and cooling of air and the heating of water, often by burning oil and gas. The specialized code will help prevent us from adding to that deficit by preparing new construction for electrification and help get us to net zero faster by ensuring new construction does not contribute excessive emissions in the future. To be clear, the specialized code does not ban the usage of fossil fuels in new construction, but it does require that new buildings are prepared for the electric transition.
The article failed 121 to 216. Article 4 was recommended to take no action, and that passed 271 to 30. That wrapped up the November 13th special town meeting.
Over the past 30 years, the Hopkins High School athletic program has flourished, producing multiple league championship teams, state championship teams, and amazing athletes. We hope the success continues for years to come. We also hope this event continues to stir up productive nostalgia and fosters school pride. Although the Hall of Fame was founded to honor great athletes of the past, this is in no way intended to diminish the effort of all other athletes, coaches, and supporters. The very essence of high school athletics is based on participation, and although the abilities of others may not have matched those of the inductees, the importance of their participation cannot be overstated.
Coach Burt was a Hopkins physical education teacher for more than 30 years. He coached basketball and baseball. He started the Hiller soccer team and was the boys' first coach. He ran an annual gymnastics program and introduced the jazz band to Hiller sports. I was going to say basketball, but, we liked it too. And he was a role model and mentor for hundreds of Hopkins students. For many of us, Coach Burt was a life coach, decades before we knew we needed one.
I've got to realize that all of the things that have happened, I'm just so happy that I was in Hopkinton. And I had some real good players, and I had Roy Davis sitting right there as my assistant with the JV teams. And I remember when I first came, I met with them and they said, "We're no good." I went like this, "You're no good. You're going to be better when I get through with you." And so, we really worked hard. And it was something of a thrill for me to come tonight to see all of you and to see all the others that have been coaches and teachers in the Hopkinton setup.
It was his play on the gridiron that earned him the most recognition. He was the halfback and captain of the undefeated 1947 football team, the second undefeated football team in Hopkins history. Quoted Coach Welch, "Dave Cross was our high scorer and the team's spark plug. He scored 90 points this season. He had many games with multiple touchdowns, huge punts, and came back from injury to lead the team to a tie against Holden to keep their unbeaten record intact. He was named Class D All-Star following the season. Dave also served as class president his sophomore year and class treasurer during his senior year. After graduation from Hopkinton, he joined the Navy and served in Korea during the Korean conflict. After being discharged from the service, Dave received a degree from Suffolk University. He went on to have a long career at IBM. The season started with five straight wins over Westford, St. Charles, Medway, Westboro, and Weston. But the win over Weston left Coach Welch most frustrated, stating, "Our play fell far below expectations and we barely squeezed out a victory." Captain Cross was injured and thought to be out for the game against a Holden team that was considered to be the toughest opponent all season. During the Holden game, Holden was ahead throughout the game before Cross made his appearance in the third quarter, sparked a 91-yard drive for a touchdown. With 3 minutes left to go in the game, Hall of Famer Dave Whalen started chucking aerials, and a 45-yard pass to Bernie Doherty netted Hopkinton the tie. The Hillers won the next two games against Bourne and Our Ladies of Newton, and going into the Thanksgiving Day game, which was being played in Hopkinton, they were 7-0-1, while Ashland was 7-1.
I think back, and we all do, we all reflect with the books that we develop ourselves, you know, and the pages we turn back, and we do reflections. And when I was invited down here, of course, the pages got turned way back, and I think about why I'm here more than anything else. And I was a gangly, somewhat awkward high school teen with a little bit of a spark for the game of basketball. And there was a coach that entered my life, Coach Ken Burt, and he threw a little bit of gasoline on that spark. And he made it become a passion for me.
Many of you may be old enough to remember Coach Doyle's math class. And on the wall, he had a big clock. And under the big clock, he had a big sign. Time passes, will you? I always thought that sign was directed to me. But you could be sure that he ain't shooting like Ricky Brault. He's not going to pass and handle like Terry and Kemmy. He's not going to jump like Ricky Phipps. And he's not going to shake and bake like Ronnie DeMichael. So, rebound, Brock.
It was quite a long time ago, and I think that it's important for us to understand, as the folks before me have said, we really are building a foundation for our young children. And what we learn from teamwork, from learning to participate as a team, from learning to lead a team, and from learning to just get through as a team sometimes, is really the foundation of who you are and how you live your life. So.
We started out 1 win and 2 losses. But the MIAA, the Mass Committee that runs the tournaments, has started to evolve into what it is today, so we have the entire state into it. But it was broken up into numbers, small versus large, and of course, Hopkinton being in the small. There were 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl from the Tri-Valley. It was Bellingham, one of the teams that beat us, and us.
Yeah, you just summed everything up perfectly. I mean, I want to thank you so much for everybody here. It's truly an honor. I want to thank my coaches, Coach Scanlon, Coach Bliss, Coach King.
And it's really nice to be back in Hopkinton. I live on the Cape now. But this was home to the Grabmeyer family for over 30 years, where my husband, Joe, and I raised our 3 kids, made friends, shared memories. My Hiller journey started in 2001 after reading a Help Wanted ad in the Hopkinton Crier for a freshman volleyball coach. I saw the ad run over and over, week after week after week, and I finally turned to Joe and I said, maybe I could help them out. They sound desperate. That was the beginning of my coaching career.
I'm grateful that they acknowledge my cross-country career, because I do want to thank Coach Scanlon for saying this isn't the sport for you, but we like having you here.
The Massachusetts Department of Transportation informed Town Manager Norman Kumalu that the Fruit Street Bridge over MBTA/Sudbury River should be open either late this week or early next week. Some great news about the Fruit Street Bridge. It is set to be open either late this week or early next week. A big thank you to Norman Kumalu for sharing the great news with us.
By Brian, and that will take set number 3. Sienna serving. Gets it in there. Mackenzie mishandles it. Magnarelli has to get it back. Mackenzie to Sienna, who controls it. Gabby with a quick set to Evie, who pops it over. Mackenzie pops it up to Johnston, who goes over to Brian. It's going to hang on the net, and that'll do it for set number 4. The Hillers take it 25-19. We are going to a 5th set. And it's the freshman who will be serving, Evie Woodbury. Evie to serve. Gets it over. Mo to Johnston. Back set outside to Rizzo. Oh no! Sophia tipped it at the net, and that will be it. North Quincy will win this Sweet 16 matchup.
North Quincy takes the match in 5 sets and pulls off the upset win. Hopkinton ends their season with 14 wins and 6 losses. North Quincy is on to the Elite 8. On Wednesday, November 8th, 8th-seeded Hiller Boys Soccer hosted 24th-seeded North Attleboro. As expected, the game was a back-and-forth battle.
The middle off Iannelli. Here goes Iannelli to the attack zone, takes it, count it!
What a
Hillers!
Hillers are on the board early. Iannelli. But who was that? That was Federico Rossi pushing that ball right through to him. Iannelli was on the breakaway, and they don't know what to do in North Attleboro.
A minute and 10 seconds in, and the Hillers strike 1-0.
Didn't even try to settle it down.
Champlin trying to go back to Iannelli. Here's Vilo. Along the near side. Gets it back. Champlin into the box. Here's a header out. Top of the box. Shot! Oh! Whoa! Team Zakharov! Goal, Hillers!
Zakharov with an upper V volley. Good grief, did they eat their Wheaties this morning, Tom?
Oh! Wow! Jeremy Carter set for the free kick. Here's it out into the box. It's a good one, deflected, and it's put in. And North Attleboro strikes back.
The Hillers led 2-1 heading into the second half.
Here's it out. Link trying to scoot by Iannelli. There goes Iannelli. Flying in. Nice move there. Crosses it. Oh! It's in! Iannelli!
What a goal, boy!
Wow!
He had Quint Connolly on the break down the sideline. He did a quick pullback. Quint Connolly left his shoes on the field, and he's about 10 yards away from him. Iannelli pops it in and just into the near post from an impossible angle. How did he do that, Tom?
I can't believe it. That was an unbelievable angle to score a goal from.
That's on the 30-yard line, so that's a dangerous 35-yard line. So that's a very dangerous position for North Attleboro to drop this ball in. So Hillers have got to mark up.
Tonbray to take it. Airs it out. Header! Oh, it's in!
Yeah, Silva came off his line.
Right. There's a cross. Into the box. Looking for the shot. What a save!
Oh boy. Silva was there to cover it up, but I'll tell you, I need a couple of stress balls right now, man. I I am so nervous, but hey, you know what? Silva was there. He had it covered all the way.
North Attleboro working up. Oh boy, here he goes. Takes it! Silva with the save!
Great save by Silva. He saw it. He saw it all the way. I mean, you got to just bring it all. You got to bring everybody up into the attack. I'm surprised that the goalkeepers.
Oh, it's a header! Oh, he just saves the own goal!
Wow.
Wow!
That was a bit of a miscommunication there.
He meant to chip it back to his keeper and nearly put it in the net. Guerin looking to move in, and it's popped out of play off of North Attleboro.
For a foul, by the way, and boy, does Guerin have some good IQ or what? He just held that up. He knew. It's just all about the seconds at this point. Love that kid's soccer IQ. Some other guys would have tried to cross it over, create something. He's like, nah, let's just kill it.
And this is going to be Jan on flank. And he'll go with the shallow pass to Iannelli. Off back out of play. Throwing Hillers.
Right in front of their supporters.
That's Hiller supporters in the corner. And there it is! The final whistle sounds! And the Hopkinton Hillers are moving on to the round of 8 as they take down North Attleboro by a final of 3-2.
Hillers hang on and take the victory over North Attleboro 3-2. Jack Iannelli nets 2 goals, and Tim Zakharov also netted a goal for the Hillers, who improved to 15-2-4 and advance to the round of 8, where they will take on first-seeded Bedford. Hopkinton and Bedford met up in last year's playoffs and the Division II state semifinals, and the Hillers took the win 4-3. Bedford will certainly be looking for some revenge on Saturday. Following the boys' game, the third-seeded Hiller girls battled 14th-seeded Arlington. The Hillers got things going in the first half.
Clark gonna switch it up. Moves it up the middle.
Beautiful.
Carney gets it through. Here she comes. Tedstone, and count it!
Tedstone!
What a goal!
Kulkarni with a little touch to Tedstone. Tedstone breaks away, uses that speed. Defender's chasing her down, but she fights it off. Tedstone holds her off and just at the last minute pokes it in. And a bit of a hospital ball, but it just rolls in. And you know what? It counts for one just like the others do.
I'll tell you, that was one of the slower goals I've ever seen, but certainly a nice boot by Tedstone, just slipping around the keeper. Bam, 1-0.
The ball's rolling in, and you can hear Arlington going, "Do not go in."
It was a 1-0 Hiller lead heading into the second half.
Clark got out in front of it.
That's the aerial assertiveness we're looking for from Alex Clark.
Grebo sends it forward. And what a job by the keeper, Ayla Chase.
They're going to call.
They're going to get her with a call here.
Yeah, they're going to give her a penalty kick, saying Ayla took her out.
Grebo. Oh, just got it. There's Recupero. Sends it up looking for Georgie. Clark driving in. Georgie. Oh, stopped by the keeper. Driving in along the top of the box. Gets it over DuPont. Takes it on the ground. Oh, just wide.
Joe DuPont with a strike, but boy, was it close.
Gets it into Recupero. Recupero. Back to Nina. Nina crosses it. Up top. O'Connor. Gets it over. DuPont. Crosses it out in front. Oh, it's in! Oh, what a goal! Recupero!
Madison Recupero with the game-winning dagger! Joe DuPont with a beautiful assist across the box. Good gracious, could you write a better script?
Madison Recupero scores the late goal, and the Hillers take the 2-1 win and advance on to the Division I round of 8. The Hillers improve to 19-0-1 and will next host 6th-seeded Franklin. The Franklin Panthers are 18-2-0 on the season. The game takes place Saturday, November 11th, 3 p.m. at Hopkinton High School. In the last week of the regular season, Peter Thomas of HopNews.com asked the girls about winning the TVL Large title and moving on to the playoffs. Here's some post-game reaction following their 3-0 win in the regular season finale versus Westwood.
Coach, TVL Large champs, what a great game that was.
It was awesome. Kids played great. We stuck to our pattern, right? A lot of possession, created some opportunities. Westwood gave us some trouble early, but the players adapted well and created some great chances.
What do you think about our tournament chances here? How do you like it? Coming in as the 3 seed.
We're going to take it one step at a time. We'll see what the bracket looks like on Wednesday morning, and then put together a game plan and do the same work that we've done 18 times already. We're going to do it one more time.
Well, congrats on a 17-0-1 season. That is a marvelous thing and history making for the school.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you very much.
So I'm standing here with Captain Juliana Grantos, capping a 17-0-1 season. TVL Large champs. What's on your mind?
I'm just really excited. I'm really happy we were able to pull it off. I think in the beginning of the season we weren't really thinking about being undefeated, but as it went on, we were obviously really excited. So I'm happy we accomplished the goal.
Great job today. You get to hang a banner.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
All right, with Joe DuPont and Steph Johnson, girls, 17-0-1. How do you feel?
Really excited. Yeah.
What do you think about the playoffs coming up? How do you like your chances coming in as a 3 seed?
We have a lot of momentum coming in from the regular season, so we're just really excited to start and see what we can do and how far we can go.
Well, you get to hang a banner, and that's something special, isn't it? Yeah. TVL Large champs. Great game today. Nice goal today, too, Joe.
Thank you.
Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., we will be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching, and we want to wish everyone out there a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Holiday Season, and Happy New Year. Thank you for your support all year long. We'll talk to you again soon.